Hey everybody. Welcome to my first Minecraft video. My name is Izzy the Tiger, and I started playing. Now some of you may recognize me from RelaxingASMR's Realm videos. I helped him create that realm back in April, I think. And we've been having a really fun time in that world. It's a city, and we built that city from scratch. We picked out the area and we laid out the lots, and players have come into the city and built amazing houses and amazing commercial buildings, and it's really started to take off. And if you haven't seen those videos, feel free to check them out over on RelaxingASMR's gaming channel. Now that world is a creative world, and it's true that sometimes we go into survival mode, but that is only for a week or even a couple hours. I originally started playing Minecraft after I watched RelaxingASMR's first Minecraft video back in 2017, and I downloaded the game and I created a world. Now that first world I created, I didn't last very long. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I think I lasted one night in that world. I didn't find any coal on the first night, so I deleted that and I started this world. And this is the only world, apart from the realm, that I've played on for the last, almost 3 years. And this is where I spawned. And I think it goes without saying that I was so scared of the game and what came out at night that I didn't even stick around long enough to cut down this entire tree. I cut down a few little blocks of wood, all that I would need to get me through the first night, and I ran down this beach trying to find coal. And lo and behold, I found some. There was a cave right here, and I kind of dug into the side of the cave and blocked it off, and that's where I spent my first week in Minecraft. It was in a little cubbyhole about 5 blocks by 5 blocks. And over time I expanded it. So let's go inside. This is my first base. I don't live here anymore, but I wanted to introduce you to my world the same way that I came into it, which was in that little clearing right on the water, and then into this area here. Now, as you can see, it has a glass floor because in the early days, monsters would sometimes spawn in my basement, and I wanted to be able to see them. And I've come a long way since I made this base. For example, this opening here, I had a tree that I planted in the basement, just a sapling on a block of dirt. And I thought that I might be able to grow a tree in this space, and that never happened. But the space is still there. So over on this side is my workstation. I use this same layout. Crafting table, furnace, and double chest at all my workstations. It all started right here. And I think before we get too far into this, I'm going to show you my toolbar. I've been playing with this toolbar from day one. I keep food in the first slot, followed by a full stack of cobblestone, walls, slabs, and steps, followed by a bow and arrow in the third, and then pickaxe, sword, shovels, axes, hoe, and 2 buckets of water. Well, I can't tell you how many times these buckets of water have saved me when I have fell into lava or was caught on fire by a flaming bow or something that a skeleton shot at me. So yeah, always carry around 2 buckets of water if you can. It's a smart investment. And I always carry a couple chests and a crafting table and a shield and some torches. Now, like I mentioned previously, this world from day one has always been a survival world. And up until very recently, it's always been a survival, normal world. It took me until February of this year to realize that changing the difficulty level wouldn't reset my game. Now, I don't know why I thought that it would in the first place, but I always figured I'd put too much work into this world to sacrifice it, should that be the case. And also, I didn't know what commands were until literally 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So everything that you see in this world, I built in survival mode, normal, without the aid of cheats or commands. Now looking around here, it's very plain and easy to see that. But as we get further along in my world, you might kind of doubt the authenticity of that statement I made, but rest assured, this has always been a survival world. Now down here is the first mine that I ever dug. And I'm almost embarrassed to take you through here because it isn't very straightforward. My mines these days tend to be strip mines, whereas this was kind of a dig down randomly and hope you get lucky kind of deal. Before we leave here, I'm going to point out something. Directly above me, if I was to mine this block out of the way, there would be a cave up here. And the second week into my Minecraft experience, when I was expanding this room, I mined out a block of the ceiling. And a skeleton and creeper dropped through that hole and chased me all the way through this mine. Now these were the days before I started building doors, so they had the run of the place as far as I was concerned. And I wasn't sticking around to show them out or to ask them to leave, so to speak. Even today, those creepers do scare the you-know-what out of me. So down here is just what's down here? Okay, I know where we're at now. Please forgive me, I haven't been down here since I dug it back in 2017, so I'm just refamiliarizing myself with everything down here. I think there's a shaft somewhere around here. That's not it. Here we go. There's a cave over there. So down here is my first mining outpost, and I called it the Lava Lake Outpost. Now basically what I did here is I mined down and around this small lake of lava and pulled out quite a few diamonds and iron and gold. And down here is the outpost room. And I've since moved everything from here to my main compound. And I'll show you that in the next video. So this outpost is pretty basic. It consists of that mined out room around the lake and a couple mine shafts. So I've mined this area out and mined a few shafts, as you can see. A lot of what I learned about this game in the early days came from watching RelaxingASMR's videos. And a lot of my building styles come from him as well. So out here is that walkway around the lake. And there are little rooms here and there. Yeah, there's a cave back in there. I didn't go into that cave until probably 6 months in. Dark places used to terrify me. Well, what am I saying used to? They still do. So there's a side view of my first mining outpost. And I still, to this day, build all my mining outposts just like this, with windows to look out, and iron doors, very safe and secure. Because while I don't fear the monsters anymore, I don't like them very much, and I'd rather keep my distance. So like I was saying, when the skeleton and creeper chased me down here, I lost them about halfway to this mine, and I blocked that tunnel off. I was too scared to go up and face them. So, by trial and error, I ended up digging a brand new shaft back up to the house. And this is it here. And I came to several caves that I had to block off, and I had to work around. And I came out right by this ocean. And when I came around the bend here, I saw my house. So I managed to come out pretty close to it. And I built this walkway connecting back up to the house. as well as this sizable addition. So, in a weird way, I owe a lot to that skeleton and that creeper, because without them, I never would have expanded my house. So, here is my old bedroom. Now, it's very basic, just consists of a bed and a couple squares of carpet. But it has a nice view out into the bay and the sea to the west. Now, I've actually rowed a boat all the way around the perimeter of this sea. Now, it's not as big as it may look from here. It only takes about a day and a half to row all the way around. And I have a few outposts set up at various points around this ocean. I have one over there, and I have another one in that general direction. And I'll take you there at some point if you're interested. Now, out there, through the window there, you can see a small building. I call that my cold storage building. And it is where I kept a lot of my food during my tenure of living at this house. Now, I don't really know why I built that, and I really don't know why I kept my food there. It was kind of strange. But that's the way she went in those old days. Up here is another kind of little viewing area. And in here is a room that I'm almost ashamed to say it. I constructed this room in the hopes that Endermen would spawn in here and I could kill them from inside this glass structure. Now, as I recall, I think 2 or 3 Endermen actually did spawn in here. So the room has served its purpose. But it doesn't keep me from cringing every time I come in here. Now, up here is a rooftop terrace. And I was so terrified in my early months of playing this game that when I came up here at night, I would always stand inside this glass structure. I was always too afraid of the monsters to go kill them from the wall over here. So, you can see the remnants of some exploded creepers out here. Yeah. This place brings back memories. None of them very good. Let's just get out of here. Go back downstairs. In here is a workroom and a staircase that leads to the first harbor that I constructed. Now, the funny thing, well, it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. The first time I got my boat and rowed out of my new harbor, it was at sunrise. And there was a skeleton standing right there on that cliff. And he shot me out of my boat. And in those days, I didn't know how to swim. So I sunk right down to the bottom of that ocean. And I drowned. I lost my armor and my sword and pickaxe and tools, and I had a minecart I was carrying with me, and it was quite unfortunate. So out here is that cold storage building. And there really isn't much to show you in here. So, but I'll take you for a tour anyway. In the old days, I had rows and rows of chests all the way along here, and all the way along this wall. And they were full of food items. But now, everything was removed from this hall, the chests too, and they were all installed in one of the storerooms at my main compound. I probably have 8 or 9 storerooms at that compound. So from out here, you can see a pretty good view of the house. Now, that's the original portion there, and the long tunnel that connects to the addition. And up here, you can see a giant watchtower. And I constructed that watchtower relatively early on. It was before the construction of any of this. And I used to have a single ladder going all the way up to the top. It was 100 and something blocks up there. And I fell off that ladder to my death 4 or 5 times in a row. And that prompted me to build a system of, or a series of ladders and landings that alternated all the way up, so that if I did fall off of a ladder, I would only fall to that next landing and not die. So it does take a while to get up to the top, but it gives you the added peace of mind of knowing that you'll make it down safely. And that is a big part of my Minecraft world, and it is safety. I'm almost fanatical about it. You'll see the extent of that at my compound. It's like if you've seen Relaxing ASMR's castle. Just imagine that times 10, and then add a bunch of security features that don't really serve any purpose other than added peace of mind. So, the sun is setting, but we don't have to worry about any monsters coming out, because I have this currently set to peaceful mode. I figured it would be better to do that than to risk getting blown up. I haven't died in this world since 2018, early 2018. And I really would not want to die on camera, because I have no video editing software to edit something like that out. So let's just head over to that watchtower and I'll show you what's going on there. Now, before we do, here is a stable for a horse. Now you may be wondering, how am I going to get a horse into here? This tunnel leads from this base to my main compound. And I dug this tunnel before I realized that a shovel digs dirt faster than a pickaxe. So I dug this tunnel with many, many, many stone pickaxes. And this tunnel is easily 800-900 blocks long, maybe even 1,000 blocks long, because it isn't a straight affair. This tunnel goes up and down and around various caves that it encounters, because I was always too much of a chicken to take the monsters head on and cut through their caves, so I'd always try to find ways around them. So even on a horse, it takes a good 5 minutes to go from the compound to this base. And we'll be going through this tunnel maybe in the next video, and you'll see just how long it is. So here we go, up the tower. One more. And here we are at the top of the tower. It's made entirely out of glass, so it gives you a very wide view of the surrounding land. Now, you can see some torches through the forest. In the days before I dug that tunnel, I built this pathway through the forest, which I called the land bridge that leads to my compound. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it from here, but just past where you can see to the northwest there, or to the which direction is that? To the southeast, sorry. Or is that the southeast? See, I'm all turned around here. I haven't been here in a long time. But in that direction, there is a small log cabin, and I planted some lilacs around it. I call it the Lilac Lodge. And it serves as a stopover point, because this pathway is so long that you can't make it to the compound from here in one night. So it worked pretty well for the first bit, but then I started getting careless and started arriving at destinations at sundown or right after sundown. And even then, it wasn't a problem, until one day during the day I encountered a couple creepers in this forest. And by that time I'd been practicing knockback, so I killed them very easily. But another creeper snuck up behind me, and well, he did what creepers do best. He blew himself up and killed me. So that ticked me off a little, so I respawned back at my compound and ran back to that spot to collect my loot that I'd been carrying. And when I got back there and jumped into the hole and collected all of my loot, guess what? Another creeper dropped into that hole and blew me sky high. Again. And that's not all. I went back there a third time to reclaim West twice, only to find that below that hole was a ravine, and the second creeper must have blown the top off that ravine, because when I looked down, all I saw was a lava pond or a lava lake at the bottom of that ravine. And all my stuff, my diamond armor, my diamond sword, pickaxe, shovel, axe, and everything else I was carrying was burnt to a crisp. Yeah. So that sucked. So let's just go back down. In early 2018, I built a minecart railway from my compound to this place, which is probably what I should have done in the first place. And it renders the land bridge and that crazy long tunnel pretty much useless. What the heck? What was that? Oh, wandering trader. You know, I really don't like those guys very much. Where is he? Must be on top of the ceiling. So down here is the main floor of the house. If we go down here, what the? This guy is starting to annoy me. Oh, let's go find him. Look at these guys. I'm sorry, fellows. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but those guys have a very bad habit of letting themselves into your house. If all you have is a wooden door like this, they just walk right in. And they don't even have the respect or the courtesy to close the door behind them. So, one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of those guys. So let's head down to the basement. There really isn't anything down here. It's a giant room of nothing. Now over here is another mine shaft. And down here is nothing. Can't be all there is down here. what possessed me to dig this? Wow. Well, over here is a mine that I dug fairly early on, and I think it was pretty productive. I got some iron and some coal out of here. So in this room is the minecart terminal, and this railway goes back to my compound. And there are a few stops along the way. There's a mining outpost called the Forest Ravine, and that is a big, well, it was a big surface ravine that I found, and I dropped down into it and cleared it and mined it out, and all the caves that ran off of that, and 5 or 6 more ravines that were underground. So that was a very big and a very productive mine. So I'll take you for a ride on this minecart track in a future video. All the switches are set in the opposite direction, so if we go for a ride down here now, we'll just blow right through everything, and we'll end up... I don't even know where we'll end up. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of blocks of minecart track. Yeah, it's something else. Now over here is one of the first caves that I cleared at this base. It coincided with the construction of the railway. And I mined this place out, and it was pretty productive. So let's just head back upstairs. So you know what, I think that pretty much does it for this house. My first base. There really isn't anything more to show you here. So, when I built this house, the only animals that were in this general area were a few sheep. And I didn't really have the means of I didn't have any leads or anything to really tame them, so I just sheared them for their wool and got the bit of carpet in the bed. But I wanted to go west because I believed at the time that this island that I spawned on was an island similar to that of Relaxing ASMR's that I could level flat and build a castle like he did. But when I rode west, I quickly found that that wasn't the case. I came to a very mountainous area with a lot of snow. And when I walked up to check it out, I came to a plateau in between two very large mountains. And there were chickens and cows and pigs and sheep running all over the place here. So I set up a small outpost and started a farm. And over time, I walled in that farm and gradually expanded it and kept adding to it, and that became my main base of operations, or my compound. And I'm going to take you there in the next video. And there's a lot to show you, so it may end up being a two-part video. So I'm undecided as to how we will get there. I'll leave that up to you guys. We can either walk there and take the old land bridge. We can take the tunnel. We can take a minecart. Or we can take a boat. So let me know in the comments which mode of transportation you'd like to take. Minecart, land bridge, tunnel, or boat. And whichever is the most requested will be the mode of transportation we take. So, thanks for joining me for my first ever Minecraft video, and I hope you enjoyed looking around the place that I spawned and the base that I built and called home for around half a year. If you like this video, I encourage you to like it, and if you like these videos, you will love Relaxing ASMR's gaming videos. He has a survival world similar to mine, and also a realm, and I'm part of that realm. And if you would like to be a part of that realm, you can visit his channel and follow the instructions, and you can join up and even play with us. So head on over to his gaming channel and subscribe to it, and subscribe to his main channel too. And if it isn't too much to ask, feel free to subscribe to this channel if you like this type of video. I plan on there's a lot to show you in this world. This is literally just scratching the surface. I haven't even been back to this base since last year, so I have my main compound. I have many different mining outposts, many different trading outposts in villages that I've walled in and saved. And so there's a lot more to show you. So we'll start in the next video by taking a trip to my main compound via the mode of transportation that you choose, and we'll go from there. So, thanks for watching. I'm Izzy the Tiger, and we'll see you next time. Happy trails.